public debt is galloping towards the 9 trillion ceiling.
In that one, we have two things that we have to note. Is the debt ceiling 9 trillion? And is the debt galloping? Galloping suggests pace. So we checked with the National Treasury and we found that this period, the period that we are interested in, is the period 2013 when the Uhuru administration took over to the most recent data that we have. And what was the most recent data that we got? It shows that from 2013, the debt rose from 1.79 trillion to 7.7 trillion in 2021 June. And that's an increase of about 330%, or in real terms, we're talking about 5.9 trillion. Now, we also have the most recent provisional data, which shows that by November 2021, the debt was 8 trillion. And so for us, we say it made sense and it was mostly correct because there is a suggestion of rapid increase. And then the Treasury itself estimates that in the next financial year, which begins in June this year, the debt will hit 9.4 trillion. So for that one, he was on the money.
The GDP of Kenya shillings 11 trillion.
Is Kenya's GDP 11 trillion? And for that, we asked the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, and they sent us to the Kenya Economic Survey, which is released every year. And so after we checked that, we found that actually the most recent survey, Kenya Economic Survey 2021, shows that the GDP was 10.8 trillion in 2020, and it's provisionally at 11.3 trillion in 2021.
That for every 100 shillings of revenue collected, 70 shillings goes towards paying debt.
Does every 70 out of 100 shilling go to repaying our debt? So what we are interested there, it looks like he's talking about debt service. So how much of the money that KRA collects goes into payment of debt? And that's important because paying of debt is like the first charge. So we can't do anything with that money until we pay debt from it. So what we found out is that there is no data to support that claim. The most recent data from the National Treasury shows that the amount was 41.4% in 2020 and 50% by June 2021. So it's about 50 shillings of all the revenues going towards debt repayment. So on that one, we rate him as incorrect.
Kenyans Fuliza 1.2 billion daily.
So Fuliza is this money transfer service for Safaricom, and on that one, what we did is to check data from Safaricom, which is publicly available from their annual reports. The most recent report was released in September 2021, when covering the period April to September that year. So when we looked at that report for those 6 months, is about 183 days, and they had made about 242 billion. So when you divide that, you get about 1.3 billion shillings every day. So for us, it's an astronomical figure. He said 1.2. We found 1.3, but we are not quibbling about a point.
Last year, Kenyans borrowed 351 billion. Now every other Kenyan is a fugitive from Fuliza.
That's also another straightforward one. We looked at the annual report for Safaricom for that period, and it shows the number is actually picked from that report, 351.2 billion. So that's the number that we used.
I established the Kenya Revenue Authority to protect domestic revenue from being stolen.
That is a claim that President Moi can make because KRA was formed during his time. It's a claim that the 7th Parliament can make because they enacted the law. So we asked Kwame Owino what that means, and he said the whole idea was part of a package for structural reforms. And so that's where it came from. And Mudavadi can only make the claim to the extent that he was the finance minister at the time and that he steered the law through Parliament. So to that extent, we said he's mostly correct. It's a legitimate claim.
I made Central Bank of Kenya an independent entity, therefore closing avenues of graft under foreign exchange control regimes.
That act, which Musalia Mudavadi presented to Parliament, is responsible for the independence of the central bank. But of course, we know it's 2022. We have a new constitution that came up in 2010. So for context, we also have to say that the Constitution of Kenya 2010 also buttressed that independence of the central bank. So to that extent, it's mostly correct.
One of our members, Honorable Sakwa Bunyasi, has indeed tabled a bill in Parliament to address this issue. And for nearly 1 year, that bill is being taken in circles because people don't want us to establish the truth of our debt.
We found actually there's a bill like that. It was brought by Mudavadi's party member, Sakwa Bunyasi. It was tabled. The first reading happened on the 22nd of December 2020, and the bill has been pending in Parliament since. So we asked the clerk, what's up? Are people playing games? Because that's what Mudavadi said. And he said, yes, the bill is in the pipeline, and it's pending before the Departmental Committee on Finance and Planning in the National Assembly. So this is 2022, it got in December 2020, so it's correct that it's been pending in Parliament for more than a year.
The Auditor General's report for 2019 shows that stalled projects, which we continue to borrow billions to run into mind-boggling trillions.
That yes, we do spend billions to finance stalled projects. But there is a catch there that we have to be very clear about. These stalled projects, we only borrow in Kenya. The law only allows borrowing for development, for capital projects. So on that score, we say, all right, we borrow, we spend borrowed money on projects. So we don't quibble about that. We go to the next step, which is saying, does the value of stalled projects amount to trillions? And when we searched for audits, we found that there is a report by the World Bank and a report by the International Monetary Fund, which both show that the value of stalled projects is 1 trillion. And we also found in the Hansard of Parliament, where members of Parliament were saying that the stalled projects amount to 9 trillion.
Agriculture, which contributes 27% to GDP, is food insecure.
The figure is straight from the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, so the annual economic survey. So that's where we go to get the figures. Now, we found that in 2019, agriculture, construed as crop production, animal production, and support activities to agriculture, contributed about 18.8% in 2019, and the provisional estimates according to the Economic Survey 2021, which is the most recent, show that it is 20.4% from those things. But there are things like forestry, fish farming, fishing, which are related to agriculture. So when you add that, it gives us 23% provisionally in 2020 in 2020, 23% in 2020. And so we rated that as incorrect because a small percentage point when you're talking about trillions of GDP makes a huge, huge difference. So he was off the mark on that one.